Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic, Less Known Classic. This is episode number 1736 and Doubleshot number 1630. I have two Marvel trades. One is continuing a really good era for a book. The other is the start of a new era. First up it is The Fantastic Four, Volume 9, Eternal Flame. This collects Fantastic Four. Trying to think what volume this is. This is probably volume 6. Yes, volume 6, issues 36 to 39, plus 2 one-shots. Road Trip and Grim Noir. Yes. You might be asking, Nick, why did this book stop at 39 for? Because 40 is the start of the Reckoning War story arc. Yep, that was simply the reason for it. This story arc mostly is just removing a character and just stabs instead of for Reckoning War. Take, for example, the character Sky, who's been around since, I think, the second or third story arc. Since the historic point of origin. That was basically when she first showed up. And she's been in the book for probably about a year. And then because of Johnny Storm basically cheating on her with the fiancé of Doctor Doom, who she's still with, technically still with, despite not being his fiancé anymore, she proceeds to rip off the bracelet of origin. Apparently their powers are going out of control. So her bracelet gets removed, and then she leaves the planet. And currently she's never seen again. She gets written out of the series. I'm not sure why Dan Slott did this for. I thought this was a really good relationship, but nope. We have to write out something really good here for Johnny Storm, like an actual romance for him. The one that's not abruptly cut off because, let's have a character go back with her strange husband, aka Medusa. Yeah, that relationship lasted for 2 years. Yes, for 2 years that relationship happened in comics, where Johnny Storm had a relationship with Medusa. And then it ends at 2 years. It felt like a really natural romance. And then, nope, let's put it back with Black Panther. Black Bolt, excuse me. Also, Johnny Storm's powers are gone control. Like, that's interesting, to say the least. Yes. And we also have the whole thing with the Wizard. Yes, the Wizard. Okay, this is interesting with the Wizard. He apparently sues the Richards over custody of his clone son, Bentley 23. And it seems like he's about to win, and then an older guy pops in who looks exactly like the Wizard. And apparently he is the actual Bentley. And the one who's been acting as a wizard since the 60s is Bentley 2. His clone. Yes. And Wizard's like, Bentley 2. Bentley 2? He gets mad, storms out. Bentley, the original, just declares the Richards are basically happy to actually keep him. Now, here's the thing about the password. They have a little Easter egg password here. We have part of the password for, I think it was for the original Wizard, the one who's been around the 60s. We have his password ST102, which I believe was his very first appearance in comics. Yes. And then Bentley 23 is, get this, that was actually the first issue of Jonathan Hickman's run for Fantastic Four. And I think that may have been Bentley 23's first appearance. Let me take a look here about that, just to be sure. Because I thought that was a really cool Easter egg. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the whole Bentley 2 thing was hilarious. Yeah. I believe Strange Tales 102 was his very... Yep, I was correct. Strange Tales 102 was his very first appearance. As for Bentley himself. Yep. Yeah, not only first time John Hickman wrote the book, but that was also his first appearance in the comics. Like, okay, really good, Dan Slott. I never suspected he would do an Easter egg like that, where a password is a nod to the first appearance. Yeah, clearly shows they could have done this on Amazing Spider-Man instead of pulling the bullcrap he did in that book. Well, most of the run was really good. Up until Superior Spider-Man, and after Superior Spider-Man wrapped, like, I would say after Secret Wars, the book felt like it was its own universe. It very rarely interacted with anything outside. It felt like it was its own standalone universe. This book definitely feels like it does. Also, we also have She-Hulk appearing here. This is just after she just appeared in the pages of Avengers, where she quit the team. Yeah, she quit. And then right after this story wraps up, she gets her own series again. But it's a mini-series. When I told my friend Crimson Prince about this, he was like, really? She-Hulk is a miniseries? Why? I should point out that book, that's the first She-Hulk book since the She-Hulk book that ended in 2018. This is the first one in 4 years. And it said, nope, it's a miniseries because they don't have faith in the book. That's my personal guess. But this book is really good. Okay, if you're curious about the other two one-shots, Road Trip is Fantastic Four going Road Trip with basically Valerie Franklin. It has really terrible artwork. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, that comes right after Grim Noir. This artwork was, I love the artwork for Grim Noir. Grim Noir's artwork, the Grim Noir itself is done by Gerry, Dugan, and Ron Garney. Like, interesting, really good. Yep, Christopher Chadwell does the writing for this Road Trip, but the artwork, oh my gosh, is really bad. So, it's basically kind of like a noir type story, and I love this artwork. It's really good. I kind of wish they would do the whole issue of Fantastic Four, because I love this art style. It's just so really good. Yeah, it's like Ben Grimm doing a solo story. It's just so awesome. It's just a really good book. Nothing else to say about it. Just really good. But oh boy, here's your artwork for the Road Trip one-shot. Wow, oh my gosh, this artwork is so bad. I mean, look at this stuff. This is awful. Like, here's your cover art for the issue. Like, okay, kind of gross looking, but this cover art is better than the interior. You think that's bad? You have character with the mouth wide open for like no reason. Like, here's one for you. That's supposed to be Valerie Richards. That's Susan Richards. Yes, seriously. That's how Felipe Andre draws these characters. Yeah, everybody's like running apart. You have basically Valerie acting really weird. Like, apparently the other one looks kind of normal is, of course, Franklin, but my gosh, I'm not showing this particular page because it is gross. It'll make you sick to your stomach. Yep, and here's Fantastic Four in their costumes with really crappy artwork, which begs the question, why the heck did Marvel choose his artist to do this one shot? I gotta admit, the writing is really good, the artwork is terrible, but I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Road Trip is the only one with really bad artwork. Next up is Start of a New Era by Gerry Dugan for X-Men. The first 6 issues of X-Men Volume 6. Excuse me, like I said, by, of course, Gerry Dugan. You might be asking, does Len Francis Yu maintain the cover artwork in these issues? No, he doesn't. They actually switched the artist for this one. Yes, Len Francis Yu did all 21 issues, the covers for all. He did the interior for the first 6 issues. Afterwards, look at the covers, but his artwork cover was really good. This cover right here is done by Pepe Lores and Montana Garcia. It's not terrible artwork, no. Pepe Lores himself does the interior artwork for issues 4, 1 through 3, and 6. 4 and 5 are done by Varpina. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, here's the thing about these stories. Now, this is the start of the Gerry Dugan run for the book. But one thing, we actually have a consistent roster in this book. The roster for this particular run is basically Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue, Laura McKinley, who is Wolverine, Snick, I think his name is from Generation X. There's also I think it's Polaris. And I think that's it. That's pretty much your lineup for you. Interesting, though, they gave Rogue her, based on this cover art here, you would think they would give, it looked like they gave her 90s Jim Lee costume. This is a really interesting moment here. You have Emma Frost talking to Jean Grey. By the way, over the years, these two women do not like each other at all. And yet, it looked like, though, at one point, based on the way the artwork is drawn, that Emma Frost was basically what she was grabbing, which was filling up Jean Grey's costume. It's almost like, based on the artwork, it's implying that Emma Frost really wants to strip Jean Grey naked. And by the way, Jean Grey is shown in bed with Scott Summers in the book. A couple times. And oh boy, there's a weird Scott Summers story in here. I will talk about that. Mostly has some really interesting moments in here, like having Rogue punch the High Evolutionary, a Thor villain. Like, I thought that was awesome. Yes, mostly put a lot of the first 5 issues, which that's basically what I did before. It's like, oh, let's have the X-Men battle these random monsters, these random creatures for about 6 issues. We also continue the romance of Snick and Laura, which I found to be quite interesting. This is something Hickman set up here. So, you can't blame Gerry Dugan for set up a romance for Laura with this guy. Yeah. Oh, yes, and this is a Jim Lee costume. Yep, I was correct about that. Yeah, for some reason, like, if you look at these costumes, like, Laura is basically back in her own new Wolverine costume, which I love this costume. It seems like the original costume just... Except Laura is shown to be drawn to be taller now than she was in her book. Like, in her book, I mean, she's not short. She looks like she's about 5'6", 5'7". Here she's drawn to be like 6 feet tall and taller as her boyfriend. And by the way, her boyfriend is right here. He's drawn like he's freaking Nightcrawler. It's almost like the artist really wanted to have Nightcrawler in the book. But for some reason, he wasn't allowed to be in the book for reasons. Yes. So we deal with various plant creatures. And yeah. Yeah, this whole thing is called Fearless. But yeah, Rogue, and I thought it was Rogue, is actually, well, is quite hilarious. Like, here's the High Evolutionary, and I don't remember who the other one is. Like, could be his wife. I think it's supposed to be Apocalypse's wife. I'm not really sure. Yeah, and then you have, like, yeah, it's clearly Rogue who's one who punched, like he's being so smirmy. You could say it's Rogue, but it looks like that. Yeah, Rogue definitely punched the High Evolutionary. Which, who would have thunk though Rogue would punch a character created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby? And you might be asking, has the High Evolutionary ever encountered the X-Men before? The answer is yes, kind of. Back in the 80s. Well, he encountered X-Factor. He never encountered the X-Men themselves. Nope. But this is technically the first X-book he's involved with since the 80s. Yep. Yeah, here's the continuation of the romance here. Now, you might be thinking, did Dugan do this? No, this is all Hickman. Hickman is the one who set this romance up. Me, personally, don't have a problem with it all because Hickman developed it. It didn't come completely out of nowhere. Unlike Batgirl and Batwing, this was developed over the course of a few issues, which was great. I love it. And I found it to be the highlight of this story arc was their romance. Yep, and you won't believe who else is in these issues. Ben Urich, a character associated with Spider-Man, Daredevil, and X-Men comic. That's interesting, to say the least. Yeah, plus, I love this tagline here. Fearless Chapter 4, Nightmare on 86th Street, which is so hilarious. What about these other ones? Let's see. What about the other chapters? Let's see. Chapter 1 is in threes. That's what chapter 1 is called. Chapter 2 is Catching the Wave. Chapter 3 is Probably a Fan. And of course, you have Nightmare on Elm Street, which is basically you have a cover that's a nod to the Headless Horseman. I can't show a picture fully because of the way the book is. But yeah, lovely nods to Headless Horseman. And you have basically this book be having Nightmare show up. Yes, Nightmare, character from Doctor Strange messing with Scott Summers. Yeah, and here's what I was talking about. Basically, like, you have a Kim by Nature Girl. You haven't seen her in a while. And you have Emma Frost and Jean. By the way, Jean is in her classic X-Men costume from the late 60s. Where it's like, hey Jean, hi Emma, did you make this? And she's grabbing her suit. I mean, you can interpret many things. Her feeling of the costume, maybe. But could be also, you could imply it in a different way that maybe Emma Frost wanted to see Jean Grey naked. Yes. Like, I did. Do you like it? It's not for me. Or you. Yep. It's kind of a weird thing that you would say I would imply that Jean Grey basically would be kind of, in a way, into Emma Frost. Well, there is fan fiction out there of these two basically being a couple. Yes, seriously, there's fan fiction of these two being item. Yep. But oh boy. Like, last ones don't tick off Polaris. We have this helm pop up here. You're probably thinking, what is up with the weird helmet? We have a cameo by Doctor Strange, of all people. Yes, Doctor Strange. Yep. We basically have issue 5 be a flashback to the Gala story arc. Well, to get a crossover anyways. Basically a crossover where not much of stuff happened. Basically, let's just focus on Polaris. But the last issue, oh boy, this is a weird one. Yeah, Scott Summers being interviewed by Ben Urich, poking fun of the fact that he had once died. And then we have this title for Fearless Chapter 6. Whatever happened to Captain Krakatoa? And here he is, Captain Krakatoa. Yep. What this is ways to show here in the book, it's an alternate superhero identity for Cyclops. That's really the whole point of it. Yeah, and it's basically a guy who looks like he has plants growing out of his head. And at one point that you have Scott Summers really want to add Captain Krakatoa to the team. And it's implied that he did get on the team, and then it's shown, nope, he did not get on the team. Yep, Captain Krakatoa did not get on the roster. Apparently he wanted to be like this on the roster for some reason. It's weird. Yeah. So, yeah, the whole thing of Captain Krakatoa just disappears after that. They're probably going to explain the origin of Captain Krakatoa in the next trade. Yes. But it's interesting, though, to have Ben Urich here. Kind of an interesting set of issues, per se. Not terrible, but an interesting start to this run. I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10. It's got good artwork, though. I think the Captain Krakatoa stuff was kind of weird. The fact it's actually Cyclops. Yes. And here's a fun fact for you. Not the first time he established an alternate identity for himself. You might think, okay, what about Slim? No, not Slim. Slim is just a nickname for his. Yeah. Last time he did this was actually, I think, back in the 70s. I think it was 60s or 70s. Where he was the identity of Eric the Red. Who, they later had the actual Eric the Red pop up in the Chris Claremont run. Wait, you can't be Eric the Red because I'm Eric the Red. And that was a nod to something that happened. I think it was Roy Thomas did that. Yes, not the first time. Interesting though, he doesn't go with Eric the Red this time. He goes with Captain Krakatoa, which is interesting to say the least. It's almost like Captain Krakatoa was meant to be Krakatoa's version of Captain America, except which is simply just Cyclops and their identity. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which probably is going to be tomorrow. We'll probably just do either Freya or Shaman King. Okay? Next video. Bye.